Hi, this is a very quick video to show the inner workings of an Abus 83 series with a Z bar or Z bar to demonstrate how the bits that are inside the lock interact with each other. I've already removed the shackle from this one so we can explore the guts better. This was an Abus Extreme, well, it is an Abus Extreme. I've taken the plastic shell off now that the shackle's off, so it's easier to hold and to get the torsion bars onto, etc. for future playing. I've also removed the screw from that holds the core in, and if you look inside, first off one of the ball bearings comes out. Look inside, you can see that there is the pawl is this bit. It turns normally it'll turn up to about 90 degrees. I don't know if you can see it very well there. I'll take it out in a minute, you can see it better. But the spring returns to the resting position, and it starts off with, if I put this flat bladed screwdriver in, it starts off with the blade resting halfway across. I can then turn it almost 90 degrees clockwise. On the back of the plug we have something that's rather similar to the end of the blade when we don't have the Z bar in there. So again, this would turn not quite 90 degrees. There's a detent that stops it turning full extent, but it starts off horizontal, turns clockwise, and that would twist the pawl inside the lock through the same degree. Once the pawl inside has turned, the ball bearings, one of which I've taken out, another one of which is about to come out, the ball bearings hold against the shackle. If the shackle's in and open, then the balls are held. The ball that would be in here is held against the pawl, which stops the ball from turning back. So once it's in, you can turn it that much, but once the pawl is in position, if you stopped from turning it fully, you won't be able to turn the lock back and take the key out. Sorry, this is going to be clearer when we've got everything out. Without the Z bar in, you can turn it fully against the pawl. You can take up the play. Once the Z bar is in place with the dot pointing up, then it makes this a much larger surface to. Sorry, it's instead of being a blade, it's now a wedge, so it turns it from to almost 45 degrees. So that limits the amount that you can turn the key when the pawl's locked. Let's pop the pawl out and see if we can make it. Okay, sorry for that delay. So this is the pawl which engages with the back of the plug. It's got an orientation key which sits in a slot pointing towards the hasp inside there. So this slot is lined up with the Bible of the lock. And obviously when the Z bar's in there, you can rotate clockwise, but you can't rotate anti-clockwise so far as if the Z bar wasn't there. You can rotate much further. So in fact, you'd obviously be turning the key here. You can turn the key without moving the pawl. Sorry, it's kind of hard to hold it. You can move the key without the pawl turning a much further distance, which then allows you, because you can turn it all the way to the home position, to remove the key. When the pawl's there, you can't turn the key back. Sorry, when the Z bar's there, you can't turn the the key back, because the pile is locked in position by the ball bearings that are locked into these slots inside. So in the open position, the ball bearings have retracted into these slots, and they're kept in place by this side of the pile. So this is actually locked in one orientation, so the key can't turn back if the Z-bar is there, because this is locked in position. I hope that kind of makes sense. It will be better to do with diagrams and animation. I'll see if I can get that together. Anyway, swapping the orientation of the Z-bar, instead of it being black dot up, you make a black dot down. Then it allows, essentially, when you turn the key this far, which you would do normally it's this surface of the actuator that pushes against the pile. But because we've got the Z-bar in back to front, this part of it allows you to put much more pressure and turn the pile a bit further than normal, which I believe allows these slots to turn further than normal, and allows the ball bearing to fall further in than it would do on a normal key opening, which allows you to then remove the shackle. Apparently on the Series 1, the use of the Z-bar was to have it this way if you want the key to be removable, and to have it the other way if the key was to be retained. With the Series 2, they've changed the geometry slightly so that you can use the reversed Z-bar to remove the shackle. Now, they do say when you do that not to let this bit fall out. And so one thing I forgot to mention before is that this, which is the Abyss Extreme Weatherproof Series 63, well 83, 63, Series 2 still, has one difference between, major difference between it and this is that these have got springs to raise the shackles. This one doesn't. You've got to actively lift it. That's one reason. This is a lot cheaper than that, which is why I chose to dismantle it, but also it's easier to put it back together because it doesn't have the spring in. Also, I've swapped cores since I did the previous bit of the video. This core is one that I've repinned myself. This is one that is a stock Abyss, so I just put the cores back into the right bodies. Okay, sorry, thanks very much, bye for now.